exploring 3 beloved coffee delicacies from Vietnam's 3 regions. From faraway France, coffee made its way to Vietnam and quickly took root in the fertile red soils of the Central Highlands. Through the ebb and flow of history, 3 iconic Vietnamese coffee creations have emerged, each deeply tied to a region, offering a narrative of its culture and people. Egg coffee, the sophisticated creativity of Hanoi. Salt coffee, the gentle contemplation of Hue. Iced milk coffee, the simple liberal quality of Saigon. According to the thesis, Coffee in the Culture of Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City Residents, by Pham Thi Lien in 2020, the French first introduced coffee to Vietnam in 1857 and later expanded its cultivation on large plantations in the early 20th century. After harvest, all coffee beans grown in Vietnam were shipped back to France. It is believed that the first Vietnamese to drink coffee were laborers on these plantations. They would gather ripe coffee cherries that had fallen during the harvest, take them home and process them manually, roasting the beans in pans over wood fires, grinding them by hand, pressing and filtering to brew their own coffee. Some suggest that today's French and Vietnamese coffee cultures share a similar spirit. Coffee is not merely a stimulant for productivity, as in many other countries, but rather a means of relaxation, slowness, and personal space, an opportunity to pause and observe life. The diversity of Vietnamese coffee types not only reflects the ingenuity of processing techniques, but also the result of cultural diversity across regions. In the north, a prime example is egg coffee, a delicacy that marries the rich, velvety texture of whipped egg yolk with the bold bitterness of coffee brewed through a traditional fin filter. Unlike Hanoi, meeting the need for both speed and deliciousness, Saigon coffee is brewed with a cloth strainer, producing a large batch of coffee in a short time. Although using a higher temperature, the coffee is often bitter, with a characteristic burnt smell, but when combined with condensed milk to produce iced milk coffee or bok su, it becomes a widely popular refreshing drink. In the central region, especially in Hue, the famous coffee dish that cannot be missed is salt coffee. 1. Northern Vietnam. Egg coffee, a delicate specialty. Egg coffee, now a culinary symbol of Hanoi, was born around the 1950s, a time when fresh milk was scarce. Mr. Nguyen Van Giang, a bartender at the Metropole Hotel, created a recipe combining whipped egg yolks with sugar and coffee to replace milk. The result was a rich, aromatic drink that warmed the hearts of Hanoians on cold winter days. The ingredients for making egg coffee are quite simple, including pure Robusta coffee, egg yolks, sugar, and a little condensed milk. The eggs need to be fresh, without a fishy smell, and beaten well with sugar until they are fluffy like cream. You can add a drop of vanilla to enhance the flavor and remove the smell. Regarding the preparation method, coffee is brewed with a traditional filter to retain the characteristic rich flavor. First, rinse the filter with boiling water. Then, add ground coffee, press down with the filter's lid and gently pour hot water in a circular motion over the grounds to allow them to bloom evenly. After waiting 2 to 3 minutes for the coffee to expand, pour more hot water until the filter is about 3/4 full. Cover and let the coffee drip slowly into the cup. Next, separate the egg yolk into a bowl. Lightly beat it with sugar and condensed milk until a smooth, airy cream forms. This egg mixture is typically whisked by hand or with an electric mixer, sometimes over a bowl of hot water to gently cook the egg, avoiding stomach aches due to undercooked eggs. Finally, the whipped egg cream is carefully poured over the freshly brewed coffee. The cup is then placed in a small bowl or saucer of hot water to keep it warm, preventing the egg foam from cooling too quickly and developing an unpleasant smell. Drinking egg coffee is also a unique experience. When enjoying it, one often uses a spoon to savor the sweet, silky egg cream first, then follows with the bitter coffee beneath. Alternatively, you can tilt the cup to drink both the coffee and egg cream together at the same time. The delicate aroma of coffee blends harmoniously with the natural fragrance of the egg yolk, creating a warm and pure sensation that lingers pleasantly. 2. Central Vietnam. Salty coffee, the depth of the ancient capital. Salt coffee is a specialty of the ancient capital of Hue that cannot be found anywhere else. According to many records, salt coffee originated from the need to mix drinks of sailors, fishermen, and workers on offshore oil rigs. Due to the nature of the long trips, fresh water is very scarce here. Therefore, some people came up with the idea of mixing coffee with seawater. Scientifically, adding salt has the effect of reducing bitterness, increasing richness, warmth, and bringing a more attractive flavor to the drink. To make salt coffee, Robusta or Arabica beans are brewed using a traditional fin filter. The drink is then combined with a mixture of whipping cream, pure sea salt, and sweetened condensed milk. While waiting for the coffee to brew, prepare a separate bowl. Pour in a desired amount of whipping cream and add about 2 grams of fine sea salt. Use a hand mixer or whisk to whip the mixture for 2 to 3 minutes until it becomes thick, smooth, and fluffy. The ideal consistency is when the cream holds its shape and doesn't drip off the whisk. Once the coffee has finished dripping, remove the filter and stir in 10 to 20 milliliters of sweetened condensed milk, depending on taste. Finally, gently spoon the salted cream mixture over the coffee to complete the drink. To achieve the best flavor, it's important to use only a small amount of salt so as not to overpower the coffee. Opt for pure sea salt to ensure both taste and health benefits. The drink can be enjoyed either hot or cold. When served hot, the creamy and lightly salty flavors blend harmoniously with the bitterness of the coffee, creating a deep, soulful experience that is quintessentially Hui. When iced, salt coffee becomes a unique, refreshing beverage that awakens the senses through a balanced contrast of flavors. For many, a cup of salt coffee is more than just a drink. It embodies the Hui philosophy of life. Love must contain all flavors, bitter, sweet, spicy, and salty to be complete. 3. Southern Vietnam. Milk coffee, a daily drink. Milk coffee, or bac su, a symbol of coffee culture in southern Vietnam, offers a unique drinking experience. In the 19th century, when fresh milk was still a scarce ingredient, condensed milk was used instead, mixed with coffee. Different from the north, where people often call milk coffee brown coffee, because the proportion of condensed milk is very small, just enough to change the color of the coffee from black to brown. In the south, a true bac su contains very little coffee and a much larger portion of condensed milk. Through that, it can be seen that southern iced milk coffee is a suitable beverage for all ages and genders, thanks to its sweetness, pleasantness, and just enough caffeine to provide energy all day long. Traditionally, coffee is extracted using a filter, then a clay pot is used to keep the coffee fresh longer. The filter here is cloth strainer with holes just small enough to prevent the finely ground coffee powder from falling out, but only the coffee liquid flows out. Using this method, coffee is usually extracted twice, the first time using boiling water, the second time using the coffee water extracted from the first time poured back into the filter. The result is a pot of black coffee with a rich aroma, combined with the fatty taste of milk poured in later. Southern Vietnamese milk coffee can be enjoyed either iced or hot. When served hot, it is consumed immediately after adding the condensed milk. When served with ice, an additional 1 or 2 spoonfuls of pure black coffee, brewed from the cloth strainer, are often poured over to ensure that as the ice melts and the sweetness from the milk blends in, the distinctive coffee aroma and flavor remain intact. From a foreign product, coffee has blended into the life of Vietnamese people in its own way. Although egg coffee or salt coffee originated from a specific locality, over time, it has transcended regional boundaries to spread throughout the country. Now, wherever you go, from north to south, you can easily find cafes serving these typical drinks. This widespread popularity shows the strong vitality and excellent adaptability of Vietnamese coffee culture, both maintaining its own identity, rich, profound, unmistakable, and blending into the modern rhythm of life in all regions of the country.